Shalom. First, I want to start by giving infinite praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, Barak, qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well, teach well, through 100% truth and sincerity. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect, which in is the Israelites, Israelite foreigners that were scattered amongst. To you and only to you, I say shalom. It's your brother Aharon here from the DC camp, Great Millstone DC. Okay, coming to you with an impromptu lesson through the spirit and truth of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. This 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 51. It says, Salaki. I'm going to start up a little bit. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 50. It says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. So yeah, beautiful start there, because these fleshly bodies that we're in right now, the spirit has to escape this flesh, okay, and be put into incorruptible bodies. So these bodies which we are dwelling within right now shall be cut off and die, in the eyesight of the world, or the 2/3, or the regular ones that are not dwelling in the spirit of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. In their eyes it seems as if the men of the Lord die off, because they see the fleshly body perish. Well, ultimately, the spirit that dwelleth within us beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. And through yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, we have been subjected to be the heirs of the promise, to receive the inheritance of everlasting life, immortality, okay? Giving us something to hope for. Okay, so quick one. Romans 8 and 16, it says, the spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. And if children, then heirs, heirs of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, yahawashi, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. And yeah, in these times we're going through the corruptible state, the Lord is changing the corruptible into the incorruptible, starting with your spirit, okay, starting with your mind, okay, your lob, because going through this, it takes the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to keep you stable, and ultimately it's going to prepare you for the times which we're about to come into, the times of Jacob's trouble, where the corruptible will be cut off and die, but the ones that are dwelling in the righteousness of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, we're patiently waiting on the manifestation of the sons of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, which is going to dwell in immortality, okay, being that election, okay. So continuing on, Romans 8 and 18, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. And yet, the Lord yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi is raising up judges, okay, kings, rulers, righteous men to dwell in his spirit. And this is an earnest expectation, okay. This is something that is bringing the riches of the kingdom, okay, where death is swallowed up, okay. So understand that the victory through yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi is already won. These corruptible bodies have to go. This is why we cry, pray, this is why we cry inside and pray unto yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi daily, because we understand that this corruptible has to be gone, okay? Starting with that corruptible mind state, letting go of the old man, putting on the new, walking in the ways of truth. And this is why these holy scriptures are here to correct you, instruct you in righteousness, okay? They're beneficial for doctrine's sake, because these words here are the words of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, which in he has given us a promise, okay? It's a lucky. And you know, ultimately, he's going to bring that incorruptible estate for us, for the elect, okay? Hopefully, we're part of that number, part of the first fruits, to see salvation out of this place. But ultimately, right now, is how the Lord is fighting against death. Okay, death going contrary into life. Okay, and ultimately Esau, Edom, is that counterpart that has been orchestrating, you know, through the power of yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi. He has ordained him to go forth as the sword. Okay, the Lord has subjected Esau, Edom, and the elite rulers to rule over this world in wickedness. And this is why the corruptible estate is being elevated in within the front of your eyes. All the people are walking corruptible or contrary unto yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, walking in the transgressions of the laws, okay, which in they have no faith. Their morals are gone. The principalities that yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi has given unto us, they have let go of, okay. But he's calling us back into the remembrance of this engrafted word that we have known since a child, okay? Because remember, we were up in the heavens as a family first, okay? By us being the kids, the children, or the heirs of promise, okay? On this side, we have to be those prisoners of hope, because this is what we have to go through. Just as in the servant is no greater than the master, or yahawashi went through it to obtain the everlasting glory. So how much more for the ones that are coming up under yahawashi, okay? And this just I'm gonna hit these points and I'm gonna get out of here because I'm at the plantation. But 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and 51, behold, I shew you a mystery, which we shall not all asleep, but we shall all be changed, and yet, starting with the election, that the house of Israel will be changed. Okay, but all they that are cut off and die, that are a part of the Israelite foreigners that were scattered amongst, they will be reborn in the kingdom, you know, through the loins of the Lord's elect. So all of Israel shall be saved, and all of Israel shall be righteous in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, you know, but what are you doing now to put off that corruptible and to put on the incorruption? Well, serving yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, okay, through spirit, faith, and truth is that way. You have to believe and fight unto the end, you know, and then the Lord will possibly see you fit for the crown of everlasting life, okay? And Lord's willing, he ordained the great men that have been teaching, crying, sighing, preaching this word, okay, to salvation. Because you never know who's sealed and who's not. But what is the Lord forewarning you? That these corruptible bodies shall be put off, and the incorruptible shall be inherited. So these mortal bodies are going to die off, but the incorruptible is what we have to come. And this is something that is a mystery unto the world. Okay, 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. And yeah, all they that say only God can judge me, well, the Lord, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, is raising up judges, okay? Raising up those great men that have put off this mortal and put on immortality, starting with your mind first, okay? Because it's going to play out to be a physical thing. Yahawah yahawashi is going to transition us from these bodies into a better estate. You know, he's bringing Bugatti bodies, man. Okay, he's bringing immortality, everlasting life. You know, what's a little time frame of captivity compared to ruling or living forever? You know, so this is something you got to consider, because this is what he's bringing. Okay, 1 Corinthians 15 and 54. So when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. And yeah, this is what Yahawah yahawashi is doing. The victory is already won, because through yahawashi, man, we find life. Okay? But the rest of the world which seek not Yahawah yahawashi is finding death, man. They should die like men. The Lord has told us that ye are gods, man, but ye should die like princes of man. Okay? But the Lord's bringing the victory. That death is going to be swallowed up. Okay? It says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. And yeah, in the kingdom of heaven, we shall not sin anymore. So we're going to be righteous forever. Okay? To live forever, because through sin we die. Okay? But to sin not, we're going to have everlasting life. And this is something you have to stand fast for. Okay? Uphold yourselves until that time comes. Continuing on, it says, but thanks be to Yahawah, bahasham yahawashi, which giveth us the victory through our Lord yahawashi HaMashiach. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, and abounding in the works of Yahawah bahasham yahawashi. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. And yeah, we have a great reward coming. But do you see that? Okay? Do you visually in your mind picture the crowning ceremony when he that is taller than all, you know, a higher stature than the rest, you know, crowns those great men? Do you see that? Are you picturing that? Because our labors, okay, shall actually play out. You know, the Lord Yahawah yahawashi is a man that is not of confusion, and he's not forgetful of our works. But understand, it's not by works alone. Like the scripture says, show me your works without faith, and I'll show you my works by my faith. So like, I'll show you my faith by my works. Okay? So continuously understand that it takes faith to continue this road. But understand what is to come. Immortality, to live forever, death washed up, the wicked going into subjection, and everyone knows that is contrary to the Lord shall be put down. Bring them forth and slay me. You know, Salaki, bring them forth and slay them. They're going to be cut off, man. And this is why Yahawah yahawashi forewarning us that he's bringing judges. He's the one that's orchestrating all this. So 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2 says, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Like right now, the smallest matters, which is a great matter, serving Yahawah yahawashi through sincerity and truth. You have some that say they are, but aren't. Okay? And this is why the Lord said, all the corruptible shall be cut off. All the mortal shall die, man. But all they that are dwelling in righteousness shall inherit incorruption. Okay? Immortality. Judges. Kings. This is what he bringing. He's rising up men to be these things. To be these judges. But it starts now with the smallest matters. Okay? It says, know ye not that we shall judge angels? So like it says, know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life. And yet, how much more, man? We about to be in the heavenly estate, incorruptible, immortality, okay? Live forever, you know, having rest. It's the most beautiful thing that we're about to inherit. So right now, give the Lord, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, your all, okay? So I'm going to end off by saying, call halalyam, yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, rawchaa, qadash, shanya kabah, gawala rakwab, zakwanya atham, shalom. And remember, the Lord is bringing immortality under the shadow of his wings. Are you being covered in that day? Shalom.